To everybody. It's good to see you over here today. Let's make sure we got the Facebook thing going. Edit audience. We're good. Public, we're fine. That's good. We got comments coming up over here. All good. All set. Let's make it happen. All right. So here we go. We got, it is now Tuesday, May 24th. Got 2 more days to go for the trade show. Man, it's like, what are you going to do to prepare for that one? It's a good question. So one thing you can do obviously is register, all right, HIA-LI.org. You got that. Second thing you want to do is you want to pop onto that Facebook page. I'll bring that up right over here. You want to pop onto the Facebook page that is for the trade show. Let's go pop over there for that. That's good. And let's do a little screen share so we can see what that looks like. And let's go. Let's stop that. Screen share. Share screen. Good. Let's see if we can get a little bit quicker on that one. There we go. So that is the HIA trade show, May 26th, etc. But, by posting on this page too, you'll be able to see what else or who else is attending the show. So that's kind of cool as that goes. Now you'll be able to communicate with a few people, schedule yourself. That's really what we want to talk about over here. Scheduling yourself. So let's pop back over here. One day I'll actually move this thing over to the side. We'll go back there. Hey, Yosemite's still hanging out. That is good. Let's see, and let's remove that. Let's go back here. Share screen. This is exciting, isn't it? Yeah, sometimes it's exciting. Other times it's not that exciting. And let us just take that off for right now. I'm going to move over to the slide that I want to bring up eventually. And that is good there. All right, so show is May 26th, 9 to 3. What are you going to do? How are you going to do this? What are you going to do at the show? How are you going to prepare yourself? Now, if you are a vendor, and we're having this conversation now 2 days in advance, I got to tell you, what you should have been doing, what you still can do, there's still plenty of time to do this, is to go out there and invite those people to the show, to your booth, to your exhibit space that you want to get together with. I even mentioned this on the radio show with Scott. It's like, well, how can you be effective at a trade show? There's a lot of things you can do, a lot of things you should do too. Look, when the HI is putting on the trade show, they're marketing the show. They're marketing the wide variety of people, businesses, vendors, exhibits, resources, the networking, the different breakout sessions, quite a few of them too, the executive breakfast, all of this thing. So they're showing you, they're telling the world about the resources that are available at this thing, the wide range of things that you could do, learn from, people you can meet, businesses you can meet at the show. Wide range. Your business is probably not designed to meet with a wide range of people. Your business, your effort, your focus, your target market is probably a lot more refined as to who it is that you are looking to meet at the trade show. So, first thing, if you're going to have a booth, well, again, you're a vendor, so we assume you have a booth, is that you want to make it really clear, really super clear as to who you are, what you do. Really clear. And I can tell you, with past experience, you walk past the booth, you look over, and you're like, what do you do? Not good. The curious people will ask, what do you do? The ones, though, that you might want to attract to it might just miss the whole point of what your value is, what it is that you're providing, who it is that you're looking to meet with at the show. And it could be different kinds of people, but your signage, your stuff on the table, the booklets, pamphlets, whatever you have over there, it's got to be really, really clear about that aspect of it. So that's it. So that's one way, of course, of meeting people, is to rely upon the trade show organizers in order to bring the right people to your table. the right people to the event. Your responsibility to bring the right people to the table. So, all right, that's one aspect of it. Here's the other one that you could be a lot more proactive with in front of the trade show, not at the trade show, but in front of the trade show. David, good afternoon to you, my friend. Always a pleasure. David and I have attended a few trade shows, had a good time doing that. I love walking the floor. I was kidding around. It's like, I don't want to get distracted. Let's just stay focused. I'll tell you that story afterwards. But so what do you do in advance of the trade show? And again, we got 2 days, so we still got time to do it. But you want to arrange for meetings. You definitely want to arrange for meetings. So, and I mentioned this on the Scott Possessor Radio Jobline program that we did, is that, all right, you're in booth number 127, whatever booth that is. I'm going to meet business in booth number 127 now at the show. Since we're talking about you, whomever you are. But your booth number 127, your XYZ Corporation, what you can be doing right now is one, generally announcing to everybody, like on that Facebook page, hey, we're Business XYZ, we're booth number 127. Looking forward to meeting with you. We love to chat with you about your whatever needs that the company does, and also for our referral program. Now all of a sudden you mention referral program, a lot more folks are going to have an interest in what is that referral program? What is it that you do? They'll pop over at the booth, ask about that. Is that ideally who you want to meet? Might be. Very well might be. A lot of the networking groups show up. That is their focus. They are looking to meet with people from a networking standpoint. That's it. But that's always a good thing too, right? We want to build our businesses. So you got that aspect of it. But the other thing that can be done is to invite a few different people. One, you can invite those raving fans of yours. Invite them to the booth. Invite them to come by, stop by, let them know, hey, we're going to be down at the trade show, booth 127, great show. You meet a lot of people. If you want, why don't you just leave your stuff over by our booth? And if you want to arrange a meeting with somebody, by all means, if you're not going to take a booth yourself, by all means, you just, we'll make space for you. Just beat over there. Okay. Why would you do that? They're a raving fan of yours. You should be a raving fan of theirs. That's always nice. 2, gives them a place to put their stuff. Nice. Okay. All well and good. 3, and this is the important one, folks. Activity breeds activity. Yes, it certainly does. Right? You get on the phone and you're making calls to clients, prospective clients, and you get a couple of good calls in there. You're like, yeah. All of a sudden, your energy level picks up. You're at it again. Activity breeds activity. You go on vacation. You're walking around town you've never been in before. You're ready to go. You want to go eat. And you're like, where do you want to go? Don't know. You're walking through. You pass 2 restaurants. 2 restaurants. One is empty. One is full. Which one are you going to? You're going to the one that's full. Why? All things being equal, of course. Why? Because other people are eating there. Hey, if all those people are in there eating and they're having a good time, must be good. You go to the other place that's empty, you're like, why is it empty? 2 natural questions. Trade show, same thing. Same thing. You walk past the booth, nobody's there. You walk past another booth, 10 people are sitting in front of the booth, right? And you're like, what's going on there? Why is that one so busy and the other one nothing going on, right? What do they do? What is that? What is the excitement about all over there? That's activity breeding activity. Now, if you're walking past the booth, you're just walking down the aisle, and all you see is 10 people in front of the booth, and you have no idea what they're talking about. You don't know. You don't have any idea. But it will catch your attention. So now if you invite your very enthusiastic business partners, referral partners, friends, whatever, those raving enthusiastic people about you, and you're like, why don't I do you a favor? You can keep your stuff over here by me, arrange a meeting. They will then be at your booth a little bit more frequently. They will then be that one of those 10 people. They may meet with somebody. They're standing in front of your booth chatting with somebody else. Does it have anything to do with your business? Not directly, but those others walking down the aisle will say, hey, there's people over there. And the more you do that, then the more people will stop and at least take a look as to what's going on. That is activity, activity, breeding, activity. All right, so you want to invite that group. The other group you want to invite, and this becomes a debate as to what you want to do. And I've heard arguments on both sides. Remember now, this is not necessarily a industry-specific show. It's a little bit more broad than that. But you will have competitors there. So the question is, do you invite your clients or not? Do you? I just saw this over here. Hey there. This is what you need. You read raving enthusiast. There you go. She's my wife. So, whatever. There we go. He is not. I am not all over the place. My gosh, man. It's all about careers. That's where it goes. So yeah, but if you have that perception, then you know what? You are right. Then I am all over the place. So I gotta clean that up. And that is gonna happen too. So I'm really looking forward to that. But do you bring your clients to this thing? Let's see. So the pavilions are set up where it's like-minded companies or like industry companies going to be in the same general vicinity. So if you have all these marketing companies, do you bring your clients? Do you invite your clients to this thing? Well, how confident are you? Is one question. You invite your clients, tell them to stop by, tell them to leave their stuff over by your booth. It breeds activity, right? Activity breeds activity. That's a good thing. But what if they walk around and go to somebody else's booth that's doing something like what you're doing? Would you do that? My comment on that one is I would invite them. Here's why. Is because you really need to be confident that you are providing the value that you should be, that you are talking about to that clientele. If you really are, if you're the one reaching out to them, say, look, there's trade shows taking place over here. There'll probably be a number of businesses that you might want to meet with for a wide variety of reasons. You could set up little referral meetings if you can with them, suggest other businesses they visit and stuff like that. Will they take a look? Will they see these other businesses that compete against you? Probably, because if it was kind of clumped together, then the answer to that is yes, you probably will. Get more and more of these phone calls from who knows where. But anyhow, you probably will, or they probably will. But they're going to compare everybody to you if that is even something. But if you're unique in what you do, I wouldn't worry about that one at all. Absolutely not. Third group of people to invite, and that is going to be those folks that you just haven't really made the time to get together with. And this one I said on the show, and I'm like, oh man, it's like I'm going to invite somebody to meet with me somewhere along the line at this thing, and they're going to think, oh yeah, you don't want to make time out during the day to meet with me, but you'll meet me over there. You'll throw me into that clump. You know something? Let's just face the reality. Sometimes it's hard to get around. It is really hard to get around. And if you're like me, over the last couple of years, it's like you've kind of limited a lot of things you do. We've looked at things differently. We've done the Zoom thing, or we've done Teams, or whatever, the rest of that stuff. You're playing catch up. Use that as the excuse if you want. You're playing catch up. Okay. But you have that conversation with them. And you know what? They didn't call you either. So that's where that one goes. But if you can use your time efficiently with that one, certainly would. So again, you're a vendor. Here's the suggestion I would make on that one. Is that you reach out to those people. David will use you as an example. Can't get together with David all the time. It's too many slices of pizza, whatever it is. But I know that David might have an interest in this thing. I said, David, you know what? I'm going to be at the trade show booth number 127. Got to find out who this booth number is, 127. If you go there, tell them I talked about him, whomever that might be. David, I'm going to be down there. Why don't you swing by, man? It's been a long time since I've seen you. We'll chat, see what's going on. All right. So what is that costing you? Nothing. It's a phone call, email, whatever. I would make a phone call on that one. I say, meet me over there at 10 o'clock and, stuff like that. All right. So you got that. So now if you were to do that, so the show runs from 9 to 3. You might not want to meet with anybody at 9 o'clock. You got to get yourself together. 3 o'clock, you don't want to do that too. So you have like every half hour if you want to be aggressive on it, but you have 10, 11, 12, 1, and 2 o'clock. 10, 11, 12, 1, and 2. That's 5 David meetings, we'll call it. 5 David meetings you can schedule throughout the day. That saves you how much time? If you can meet with those people individually for lunch or coffee or whatever, that's hours upon hours, right? So if you meet them there, that's good. Also, it's activity breeding activity, right? They stop by, Dave, why don't you stop by by my booth, 10 o'clock. Perhaps there's somebody I could refer you to. Maybe it is one of your clients, for that very enthusiastic client. Maybe that's a good conversation, because they get to say how they were working with you and stuff like that. They invited you to this thing. It's all good. A lot of nice positive comments coming out of the whole thing. You're generating activity. Will you generate business? Well, we'll leave that to the salespeople. I'm a little bit more focused on generating that activity at your booth. Here's another little benefit of that one that goes along. The trade show folks will love you. Now, if you are able to bring 10 additional people, 5 additional people to the trade show, right? Let's go with 10. Let's go with easy math on it. 10 additional people. If you tell David, you can bring somebody along too. It'd be great, free to attend, all the rest of this kind of stuff. And you arrange a few things. You wind up bringing 10 people, and there's, I don't know how many exhibitors they have over there. Let's call it, I don't know what their number is. I don't want to shortchange them at all over here. So let's go big, 500 vendors. 500 vendors. So if every one of those 500 vendors brought 10 people, not even counting themselves, right? Brought 10 people. You're talking 5,000 people, man. That's a big number. You bring 10 people. You get 10 people talking about the show and all the rest of that kind of stuff, man. Let me tell you, any of these trade organizers, they'll appreciate it. Maybe they tell you, maybe they don't, whatever. They'll appreciate it. You need a favor, you need something, whatever. It goes. But more important than that is the fact that you're going to generate that activity over your booth. People are going to want to stop by, and see what's going on. And that really becomes, an important factor. So it's a trade show. That is a trade show coming up. If you don't have a booth, I don't have a booth, so just kind of supporting the whole thing. Ron Loveland, the manufacturing committee, with what they're doing there on the job search side of things. I think that's great. I'll be down there with Arthur Germain, Brand Telling. We'll be talking about, his company, going to see what, in the PR world. We'll be chatting a little bit more about that as we go along over there. But, we'll be down there. Certainly with big thanks to everybody for all the stuff that they've done. Understanding is that quite a few of the media companies are going to be there too. So, you know what? It'll be good. Maybe we'll get somebody on a show someplace and, make it work that way. So it's, it's all good. A lot of goodwill. This one's a goodwill trip, as we go through. So that's where that's at. The next one that's coming up, though, is going to be in June. Can you imagine? And of course, you got to do your follow-ups on this stuff, right? You don't do the proper follow-ups on this. Not too good. Not too good at all. All right, so let's flip over to that. And we're going to share this photo. Share screen. Definitely want to make mention of this. Yep, there we go. So you got your following the Thursday. So Friday, do whatever, get yourself organized. Monday's Memorial Day. Tuesday, do whatever follow-ups on the whole thing. Wednesday, June 1st. It is an open house. This one's pretty interesting. It's an open house at the Stony Brook University Food Incubator. and that is located in Calverton. So it's in Calverton, New York, home of where it's right in the Executive Air Park. So it is. You actually got to take a look at the directions, whatever. But it's really super easy to to get to. But that's at the Executive Air Park. It's the Stony Brook Food Incubator. So I found out about this through my local councilman, Jonathan Cornreich. We were out there doing the path cleanup for the Setauket Greenway Trail. We were over on the Port Jefferson side of it, cleaning up that area, so it was good. And let me tell you something, that trail, all in all, has been really kept pretty clean. We spent more time raking up grass clippings than probably anything else. There was some garbage around there to get cleaned up, but could have been better, but certainly not terrible. And most of the trail has just been like really super clean. The amount of people using it is all good. So anyhow, that stuff is good. So anyhow, I had a chance to speak to the new councilman. He's new to our area, at least, Jonathan Conrich, and he had told me about this event he's doing with Stony Brook University in Calverton. I thought that was kind of interesting. Stony Brook University is in his district in Stony Brook, which is also where the trail is. But he wanted to do this thing with the food incubator. So the way that one is going to work, there are 70 some odd companies that are operating out of the food incubator. Just like in Stony Brook has got the business incubator, where you have a number of companies that are working out of Stony Brook University in that facility that are business minded. In fact, I had a chance to meet with somebody at a Brookhaven event that business operates over there doing research for cancer. It's pretty interesting. But this one in Calverton is focused on the food side. So there's something like 70 different businesses that are operating out of there. They wanted to hold a networking event. So just like the manufacturers are doing their thing, I was focused on obviously on networking, but more so I think on the job side of it. The food is more on the networking side of it, not the job side of it. Although there are a few in there that are looking for different people to come and work with them. The food companies, I went through the list pretty quickly. Wide variety. Seems to be a number on the healthy side, the gluten-free, dairy-free companies, some not. So that's kind of interesting. The purpose of it, though, is to allow these companies to be seen a little bit more. Also, I'm sure to highlight what Stony Brook University, SBU, is doing out there with the food incubator, because it seems like a lot of folks don't know about it. Maybe it's time we do get to know about it. We talk about being an entrepreneur. Something, this is it. This really is it. And with some of the other things I've done, there's been a couple of folks that have gone down that healthy eating path because they've been through different things. None one of these advancing through obstacles story. I am sure many of those companies out there will have some of that, will fit into that category. But who are they looking to meet? I don't know. So I'm going to pop down there for that one. Since June 1st, it's from 2 to 4 p.m. I'll be there early, been there like 2, could stay for about an hour or so. It's an open house, free to attend, all the rest of that stuff. It is nothing that you need to register for. Either you could just go, and who would be appropriate for you to meet at that one? Well, or who would it be appropriate for them to meet at that one? I think that's an obvious one too. Restaurants, perhaps food trucks. I understand everything that comes out of there is packaged, but still, some of the food trucks maybe so. Certainly those coffee trucks always had packaged food. The restaurants, marketing people, other entrepreneurs, just to want to see what's going on there. Hey, maybe you have a healthy lifestyle business, exercise business, something like that. You coach people. Maybe there's some affiliation you could do with some of these companies. I don't really know. I do know that everything is a possibility. And the only way for you to go find out what those possibilities are is to keep your eyes open and look for those opportunities as they come up. So that is also coming up. Now, the last thing I want to mention over here is this. Let's go back to StreamYard. I want to make sure that we got this thing going. Here's the last thing I want to mention. The Oceanside High School's first annual car show. Why? Let's make this a little bit bigger. Why do I want to mention that? Because I totally believe that all these things start with that. So it's June 12th, not for another couple of weeks. So we'll put this one back up again. It's June 12th, Oceanside High School from 2 to, I'm sorry, from 10 to 2 p.m. I've reached out to let's go back over here. I reached out to a photography club about possibly going down over there. You know, they were over to Fort Trotton Park this past weekend. So maybe we'll stop by the school over there and take some photos. So why that show? Why that car show? There's so many car shows too. You could always attend these things. But why that one? What makes that one so special? Because that school, the Oceanside High School students, they came to the HIA trade show last year. They brought a boat that was built by that program, mahogany boat. They also brought with them a car that they were building at that time. Well, that car, where it came on a trailer before and it was not built yet, it still had a long way to go. Well, it now runs. It now is out there and the car runs. They want to show off that car. That's fantastic. Now, I keep talking about a lot of things being catalysts for the vocational programs, right? On the automotive side of it, again, with the drag racing, should there be a local track over here, some place for them to take that car to, because they couldn't drive it on the, you legally can't drive that car any place, but you could on a private property, if it was some sort of a drag raceway or something like that. They certainly can. And I think that becomes a catalyst for these vocational programs. That vocational program, in the case with the Oceanside High School, they built the car. They also built a boat. They also learned how to work with wood. They learned how to work with electronics. They learned how to work with structural items, such as sheet metal on the structure of the car on the outside. Obviously steel when it comes to the framework of the car, and a multitude of other things. Now they're having a car show. What does that mean? Well, now all of a sudden, if anybody in that school was interested in event planning of any sort, of marketing, promotional, anything along those lines, creating flyers, now all of a sudden those students get a chance to do this because they built a car. Now think about that. All these programs, one program actually starting in a school leads to other programs inside of the schools, leads to other students getting involved that may have no care in the world about a car, but they do have a care in the world about what is it like to create an event? What is it like to coordinate that, to put it all together? Maybe there'll be food trucks down there for that one. I don't know. Publicity, yes. Reaching out to the media, perhaps. There's a whole lot of things. One thing inside of a school, one vocational program inside of a school can truly become a catalyst for many others. Now, here's what happens with those students. Those students gain a much better understanding of what it's like to put on a car show, to do an event. It's not that easy. There's so many things that go into it. And then a little bit of hope that the weather cooperates while it's going on also. But all those phone calls, making sure you got everything lined up. There's a lot. It's an awful lot that goes into it. They're going to learn. What they're going to learn? Well, some of them are going to learn that they hate doing that. That's good. Because now they know what path not to go down. Others are going to learn they love doing that. That's good too. Because now all of a sudden they have something they could kind of latch onto at an earlier age. Not after 4 years of school and say, I really don't want to do that. But be 2 years, 3 years, but 1 year maybe before even thinking about going to college. And when they do go to college, or if they do go into some vocational program, or they do go into some higher learning or some other educational format for whatever it is that they want to pursue, whether it's a college or some other vocational program or starting their own business or interning, whatever it is. They're going to go into that with a lot more enthusiasm because they know that this is something that they have an interest in. And when they sit down to do that interview, when they sit down to talk to that person about why do you want to work at this company, right? That answer or that question that comes up, they're going to have a real answer. A real answer. When they ask, well, do you have any experience? They're going to have yes. They're going to have a real answer. It's not job experience, but it's work. It's not a paid experience, but it's work experience. It's real. It's real. And why are they doing that? Because they like it. They enjoy it. That, my friends, is the foundation for the most successful careers of them all. Ones where you really know what you want to do. That becomes really important. Too many of us don't do that. They just earn the living and move on. Great, you got to do all the rest of that stuff. But if you, at an early age, can figure out what you really want to do, or you, at your age, can help somebody figure out what they really want to do, that's phenomenal. It shouldn't be going through life not just getting a paycheck. Nor should it be some of the other situations too, where everything falls apart, you're sitting there at rock bottom, and then you'll find yourself. There's no reason to wait for that. There's no reason to wait until years have gone by, and there's no reason to wait until something happens where you're at rock bottom, and then you do what you should have been doing all along. Most positive aspect of that is to helping these students out at an early age, see what it is that they really like to do, what they're naturally talented to do it, where they use that word just. That becomes phenomenal. Really does. All right. Hey, Mike, you're a day older today. Yeah. I'm looking determined. I am determined. I think that's great. I think it's great. I wonder if when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, if I really paid attention to those things that I just naturally did, where I'd be. Regrets? No. I don't think it's that, because whatever, we go through life and we're dealt with different things, and that's who we become because of it. And I do think it's those things that impact us along the way that really changes who we are. And what we do with it is more important than some of the things that happen to us. But still, look back and wonder, and maybe can have a positive impact in somebody else's life. So that's where it goes. All right, Mike, Mr. I'm a day older. Enjoy the day. Hopefully you get a chance to see you at the trade show. Karen, thanks as always. David, you and I will meet at booth 127 and go figure out who that business is. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll know the person, but we certainly will as the rest of it goes along. All right, look, have a great day. We'll see everybody tomorrow. That would be Wednesday, 1 o'clock. We do this again Thursday. I have no idea how we're going to wind up doing this thing. I may play a recording, may not. Again, Scott Possessor and Scott Possessor, Radio Jobline, HIA. Thanks for letting me promote this thing. Certainly enjoying the whole thing. I'll put the link up for that radio show. And Ron Loveland, man, it was great doing that program with you. Just absolutely had a ball with that. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday, along with many other folks as we go along. It'll be a lot of fun. Now, what you need to do is speak well, speak often, and live inspired. You just might inspire somebody else to do exactly the same. All right, let me tell you, whoa, we're 35 minutes. Went over today. Whoops. All right, let's turn off the sound. This way I don't say anything crazy stupid.